Chill
Chill
Talk.
Talk.
Chill Talk.
Chill Talks.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Chill Talks podcast where conversations happen. I am your host, PG, and nandito tayo sa all-in-one studio here in Daet, Camarines Norte. Under din siya ng partnership ng ALM, Talents and Events Management. So, actually nakakagulat. Hanggang ngayon, I'm still at awe. Today, we are joined by a returning guest as well, Miss Aris Borromeo. So, hi Miss Aris, welcome ulit. And
Hi, sir.
after 1 year, kamusta?
Yes, after 1 year nga, sobrang another meeting na kasama kita na parang sumaya na naman ako kasi magkakaroon na naman tayo ng podcast na naman.
Na conversation. Kasi I
Yes.
believe last time na pag-usapan natin yung tungkol sa gender perspective ng sa trans women.
Identifying one's identity. Yan.
Parang yun yung
transgender perspective.
After nung conversation natin na yun, how was your life after that?
Actually, after that conversation, yung sa meeting natin, first meeting, ang daming opportunities na parang naging nangyari sa akin. Binigay, parang I was able to be a talent under ALM Events and Talent Management. Tapos after that, parang sunod-sunod na rin yung mga pageants and yung modeling careers and yung mga endorsements. Parang nag-boost siya when I started parang naging talent na. Sa
Kasi
ALM.
looking at you now, parang iba yung level.
Ang dami ng changes.
Oo, iba yung parang ibang level of confidence na,
Yes.
nararamdaman ko dito sa room. Kasi before, na paras tayo dalawa nagkakahiyaan pa
Yes, oo nga eh.
expressing kung ano yung mga
parang isang
pinag-uusapan.
chat mo pa lang sa akin noon before na parang nagre-request ka lang to meet up. Tapos ngayon, tingnan mo.
Ay, parang,
second time,
Actually, ang ganda nga
it's
nung...
improving.
Oo, parang may setup na
progress
tayo.
agad.
And in those short period of time, I believe graduate ka din.
Yes.
Tama, graduate ka. So, congratulations.
Thank you po.
So, dumaan ka rin ba sa common na pinagdadaanan ng mga fresh graduates na kung saan parang did you felt empty after you graduate?
Opo, kasi nung time na yun, parang naghingi rin ako ng mga advice from adults na sabi nila magpahinga muna ako after graduation kasi nga kung mag-work daw agad ako, parang ma-drain ako agad. Parang ganun. And I took their advice kasi parang sabi ko rin, okay, it may take time, I may take time to rest kasi ayoko namang pressure yung sarili ko. Pero it's quite pressuring sa family kasi nga, syempre, as a oldest child, parang expected nila na magkakaroon ako ng trabaho at makakatulong na ako sa pamilya. Pero, when it was an opportunity for me na naging talent nga ako ng ALM, I was given a chance for part-time jobs, which either na-support ko yung sarili ko financially, hindi na ako humingi sa magulang ko, that's good. And I was so proud of it kasi I'm not a burden anymore to my family. Parang ganun.
Ano talaga, hindi ka napalam. Hindi ka napalam.
Yun, parang ganung term. Pero in a good way.
Pero I think, usually sa parents naman, even though, let's say after ka graduate, hindi ka pa rin nakapag-work in certain degrees, hindi naman sila mag-iisip din ng ganun. Parang it's the instinct sa atin bilang anak na, alam mo, to give back. To
Ganun
give back
talaga
to them.
Parang, syempre, hindi naman obligasyon ng actually anak na supportan talaga yung magulang. It's baliktad talaga siya. Obligation ng magulang na paaralin ng anak at supportan sila from whatever decisions and career they take.
Yes. Kasi parang it was a contentious debate if I remember na
Yes.
bilang anak, kailangan mo bang suportahan yung magulang mo? Na kailangan bang maging ikaw yung investment plan nila?
Yun na nga yung issue
Oo.
baga po. Pero willingness talaga ng anak na bigyan ng support yung magulang.
Kasi personally, sa akin naman, if you were raised right, binigyan ka ng, talagang tinulungan ka ng parents mo from life advices, financial advices. So parang, kakabastos din naman if you won't return the favor
Yes.
sa kanila. Kasi kahit sabihin natin, hindi ka obligado, parang, alam mo yun, parang may certain na kabigatan din sa loob mo. Na kasi usually, ang parents natin, hindi naman sila nagsasabi sa atin na nahihirapan sila. So tayo makakapansin nun. So, parang, would you ignore that? Para masabi mo lang na hindi ako naman ako obligado sa kanila, di ba? So, ang simula pa lang.
Masyadong deep
simula
na yung
pa lang.
conversation natin regarding sa
Oo,
mga
pag-aanin
issues.
muna natin.
So
parang,
dapat ganun lang.
so far, during the time na nag-part ka ng ALM,
Apa.
diba, naging talent ka sa modeling,
Yes.
I believe you were also a brand ambassadress.
Yes.
Nag-acting ka rin.
Opo.
So far, sa iba't ibang genres or iba't ibang ventures mo with the ALM, ano yung pinaka na-enjoy mong gawin? Is it
Actually,
the mo-
lahat sila.
lahat
Naging
sila?
flexible kasi ako
Mhm.
nung naging under na ako ng ALM. And parang na-test yung yung parang character ko as an individual. Kung saan field ako mas expert, saan ako may weakness. Doon natututo ako na to balance it out. Pero yung mga naging, doon ako nag-excel is modeling talaga. Tapos mga endorsements. Kasi doon ko na-realize na, may certain strong aspect pala ako na I can excel with this matter. I can be a model in a way that I can influence people.
That's
Ganyan.
good. Kasi given the fact na very prominent or very observable yung success na nakukuha mo sa modeling kasi
Yes.
nakikita sa social media yung progress mo. Personally, ano yung personal improvement na ikaw lang yung nakakakita na nasabi mo sa sarili mo na I'm thankful na nabago ko yun sa sarili ko during this time?
Ang daming changes kasi simula pa nung unang meet po natin from now. Natuto akong makisama talaga sa lahat ng tao. Kasi I was exposed to different people. So I have to balance myself, my character sa mga nakakausap ko. And yun yung naging proud ako sa changes na nangyayari sa akin. Because I was timid, I was shy before. Tapos hindi ako masyadong nakikipagsalamuha. Yun, first. Pangalawa, physically, I was proud of myself. I was able to parang tone my body, parang create my own self na alam kong para magiging presentable ako. Kasi parang ang naging realization ko noon is that for the past years or for the past 1 year, dapat kailangan kong mag-improve in a way na kailangan yung self ko would be better. And I would ask my past self na, oh my God, this is Aris now and I am so proud of her.
That's, nakakatuwa man siya, no? Kasi,
Oo.
yung tawag nito, a good, yung nabasa ko dati, a good appearance, a good body, or a toned body, and a decent yung pananamit, as in, maging presentable ka, it can add a lot of confidence na I've realized it also a bit, hindi naman a bit late, parang ngayon ko lang siya nare-realize na nakakataas pala ng
Confidence. Actually, totoo po yan.
Oo.
Kasi nung time na parang nafe-feel ko na, while looking at my pictures before, kasi I was not really into exercising, I was into food. Tapos na-realize ko, ang taba ko pala before. Tapos look at me now, I have the eagerness to change my perspective on my body. And look, parang sabi ko, toned ako, ang ganda ko tingnan sa camera, ang ganda ko tingnan sa stage. And I was so proud of it. Kasi parang, yes, na-achieve ko yung goal ko before. Sabi nga nila, may one, parang saying, na narinig ko lang din before, recently lang pala, sa parang session namin with Q&A sessions. If your dreams do not scare you, you're not dreaming big enough. So, if my dream is to have a sexy body or a beautiful face, then it's my eagerness to do that. So, na-achieve mo siya.
Actually,
Ganun.
pag, tawag nito, the other side of freedom is discipline. So parang
Yes,
may ganun
that's
din
good.
may ganun, kalimutan ko, Jake Gyllenhaal ata nagsabi nun I forgot the artist. Pero, parang halos parehas yung naging journey growth natin, no, na I've also done part ng nag-exercise na rin. Sabi ko, parang nung una, ang sakit sa katawan,
Oo,
but
totoo yan.
you eventually realize na as you do it consistently, so parang you feel better, parang hindi ka na bugnutin. That's
No pain, no gain
Oo.
tayo.
Yung parang may nakita nga akong meme before na kami daw na 1990s is mga bugnutin na, mga magagalit na. Actually, totoo. Joke lang. Tapos, tawag nito? During this time, during your own personal growth, during your own, nakikisalamuha ka sa iba't ibang mga tao. Tama. Kasi I've been always wanting to ask people this. Kasi karamihan ang pananaw na natin ngayon sa buhay is that kung ano yung gawin mo sa akin, yun din ang gagawin ko sa'yo. Pero, given your experience meeting with different kinds of people, applicable ba yung ganong pananaw or did you adjust talaga doon sa mga taong kasama mo?
In some circumstances, ma-apply ko siya. Pero, syempre, iba't ibang tao yan eh.
Yeah.
So you have to take that in mind, yung mga sinabi mo, sir. Kasi hindi mo parang mapo-point out kung ano talaga yung mga sinasabi nila behind your back. Kasi may iba't ibang tao na they're good when they're talking to you in front, pero they're backstabbing you when you're not
Alam mo,
around. Ganon.
nililibak na kita ngayon.
Yeah, ganon. May mga ganon. Pero you have to feel, parang you have to be genuine pa rin sa pakikipag-usap. You have to be true to yourself pa rin. Kasi once that is what you reflect from others, syempre, nire-reflect din nila back to you.
That's good. Kasi ano tawag na to? You are a mirror image.
Yes,
Parang
totoo
you
yun.
reflect to others kung ano yung kung ano ka talaga, hindi kung ano
totoo.
sila. Kasi usually parang pinoproject lang naman natin sa ibang tao kung ano yung mga wala sa atin, ano yung kulang sa atin.
Totoo yan.
So parang maganda yung pinoproject natin yung ano na yung mabuti, 'di ba? So I've been dying to ask kasi na-realize ko siya kailan ba to? Last week or a few weeks ago na you decided to enter Miss Gay Bicolandia representing
Dahil
Camarines
Camarines Norte.
Yeah. What made you decide sumali sa ganung kalaking event? That's a regional event, tama?
Yes.
So what made you decide to enter that?
Siguro naman, as a beauty queen din naman, I always dream to compete in pageants that are prestigious. And one of those pageants is Miss Gay Bicolandia. It is one of my dreams kasi parang sabi ko, it is my starting point to parang begin another journey where I can enter a world where yung perspective niya is wide yung scope ng Bicolandia is wide. So, from that moment, when I started joining sa Camarines Norte lang, sabi ko, why not join to a bigger stage where you're fit for that? Kasi, may purpose naman ako talaga to share my advocacy, which is trans visibility. Kasi, it's not only about me as a representative, it's my community I am representing. Parang ganun. From that wider scope, sabi ko, this is my time to shine. This is my time to be a representative of my community. Ganyan.
That's parang I think you have opened it up before din na may mga ganun kang visions na
Yes.
may ganun kang mga bigger plans
Apo.
for yourself and for your community. So parang to give highlights din naman sa mga
Yes.
nanonood sa atin. Can you give us a deeper look kung ano nga ba ang advocacy mo, why you entered Miss Gay Bicolandia?
Ito yung laging pinag-usap. Actually, sir, nung kaya ako in-approve din yung meeting natin, yung first meeting natin, which is identifying one's identity, a transgender perspective. Because part yun ng advocacy ko. I really want people to be educated in a way they know that transgender people exist. Yan. We are people, we exist in this world, we are merely interacting with everyone. Parang ganun. Pero from that, minsan kasi nababaliwala ang part namin as a transgender people kasi may mga misconceptions baga po na we are related to gay people, parang ganyan, which is not. And from that moment, na-realize ko na why not make it an advocacy where everybody is recognized, especially my community. And I also want to realize na yung scope kasi ng advocacy ko, actually, if given a chance to really present myself in the Bicolandia stage and really present my advocacy, it would be a great opportunity for me, for my campaign. Because I will start a campaign if given a chance to win, or if, even though I did not win, I will start it. Parang to create a campaign where I will educate my fellow transgender community. Kasi I mentioned before when we're meeting about self-medication.
Yeah.
That's one of the risk factors of being a transgender. Kasi it's not applicable for a transgender woman to self-medicate. You need to consult for professionals such as endocrinologists. From that way, I will create a campaign with Sure Ami International, which is a bigger group of LGBT community. From that, we will educate especially teenagers, such as teenager transgenders, to be able them to help seek for professional help, not to advocate for self-medication, parang ganon.
Kasi I believe you mentioned that you self-medicated
Yes, before. So, parang naging rin siya, naging starting point ko na this is so risky in a way na hindi ko alam kung paano ako ano yung magiging result na hindi ako sa doktor. Parang, may health risk factor pala to. Which is kinakabahan ko in my near future. Kasi baka may side effects yung mga tinitake ko, which is wrong kasi you have to really consult. Yan.
So parang in a way, you're paving the way na,
Oo.
tandang nito? Ito yung nagawa kong pagkakamali.
Oo, I will
Tapos,
not let,
oo.
yung
Wag mo nang ulitin.
Oo, yan,
Oo,
wag mo nang uulitin. Kasi pag inulit mo, parang, syempre, yung mga risks, makukuha mo din. Ganun.
Yun din ang tawag nito. It's actually a good advocacy na kung saan you're also protecting the physical health
Yes.
ng mga gustong maging trans woman or yung nagbabalak talaga na.
Oo, totoo
Kasi
po
self-medication is a bit risky and a bit pricey kasi hindi mo alam yung bibilhin mong gamot. Tapos, correct me if I'm wrong na ang tawag nito, usually may iba na hindi naman kailangan ng reseta.
Opo,
Or
totoo yan.
So karamihan talaga.
Karamihan, mostly talaga po, yung iba, kasi nga, ang medication namin is for women, so pwede nilang mabili talaga sa pharmacies, kahit walang reseta ng doktor.
So parang hindi rin alam kung how would the body react
Oo, ganun.
sa ganong ano. So it makes a lot of sense
Diba
para
po?
maging ano siya.
It's a mere, parang ang naging standing point ko nun, let's create a Bicolandia where everyone is
Yeah.
safe and educated.
Yes.
Yun yung talaga naging main point ko dun.
Yeah. And I think one of the best ways to grow a community is to start with education din.
Yes, totoo po yan. Naging ko rin po, life goal ko talaga. Kasi nung kwento ko lang.
Sige lang, mas okay.
Nung screening, I was asked by Queen Hugo, one of the former queens of MGB. Sabi niya, if you're given a chance to talk to a leader, what social issue would you talk about? Sabi ko, I want to talk about education, allotting funds in education and agriculture. Because mostly yun talaga disregard ng other people eh. We're allotting funds on education. Kasi if we're educated, if everyone is educated, education can really produce individuals such as professionals. Baga po. If we start educating youth, we can cure a lot of problems such as poverty, yung mga ganyan. Kasi we're creating educated people.
Yes, I agree. And tarang to add to that, especially you mentioned agriculture, na kung saan halos bira ka makakita ngayon ng mga young ones that wants to be
A farmer, yan, ganyan.
Parang a farmer and a fisher folk, yung nagbibigay
Yan.
ng sustento sa lipunan. It's very looked down upon compared sa
Actually,
other countries.
discriminated talaga sila.
Until now, yun nga yung
Oo,
nakakalungkot.
yun nga po. Pero, let's take this in mind na sila yung nagbibigay ng pagkain sa table natin.
Yeah.
Di ba? Parang, ang hirap kasi dinidisregard natin sila. Pero, sila yung may malaking ambag sa atin.
Yun
Ganun.
yung sustainability na binibigay
Oo,
nila.
totoo.
And believe nga kasi kwento ko lang din, I have this cousin na graduate siya ngayon ng agriculture. Agriculturist ang graduate niya. Hi Christian, Albert Clarete. So parang shout out na lang din sa'yo.
Yes.
Nakita ko yung yung passion niya for agriculture na kung saan maganda kasi yung creating a sustainable development sa kahit magsimula ka lang sa isang barangay tapos sustainable yung farming nila. It can be shared with different barangays, yung best practices approach.
Actually, dito lang naman po talaga sa Pilipinas
Ang may
ang
ganun.
agriculture.
Actually.
Kasi mayayaman talaga ang mga farmers and
Yeah.
sa agriculture sa ibang bansa.
May mga sarili silang as in may sarili silang lupa, hindi
Oo, diba
hindi
po?
sila nakikihati sa
Oo,
lupa.
totoo.
Tapos yung wage nila is very fair, hindi yung gulat nga ako nung nalaman ko yung wage ng ibang farmers. Nung may mga nakausap ako, it's as in hindi makakabuhay ng pamilya talaga eh. And parang to jump to that, pardon me magiging pilosopo ng konti ang tanong ko kasi you mentioned a while ago, there's a difference between gays and
Opo.
trans woman. Tama? So, ang pilosopong tanong ko is that if you're a trans woman, then why enter an event called Miss Gay Bicolandia?
Yun yung pinaka naging actually po, ang Miss Gay Bicolandia, to clarify, is a trans pageantry.
Okay.
It's a trans pageant, actually. Pero it caters gay individuals kasi it's a inclusive pageant. Yan.
So it's open for
Gays.
gays and trans
Oh,
women, lahat
trans
din.
woman.
Okay.
Pero to clarify, syempre, ang naging issue kasi noon, masyadong not open pa ang lahat ng tao sa transgender people. So, kaya tinawag nilang Miss Gay yun. Pero kung realizing that na parang nagbuboost na nga po yung mga trans, nagiging visible na kami. We're creating one step-by-step pageant that is separate for gays. Parang ganun.
Okay.
Kasi
That makes sense.
simula pa naman po baga parang gay lang yung naging parang gender identity or sexual orientation ng tao before. Wala. As time goes by naman baga, doon na lang tayo nakadiscover ng may LGBTQ+, yun, madami. Ay, sorry, nagbablabla pala ako.
Kasi lalabas na you will still be labeled as gay kasi yun nga, kaya nga pag may pagkapiloso po yung tanong ko
Miss
kasi
Gay. Kasi sumali kang Miss Gay.
Oo, Miss Gay siya. So parang sa mata ng karamihan na hindi aware sa ganung ventures ng gender identity. So isipin na lahat ng mga kasali diyan bakla. So parang that's the tonality no. Kaya ko siya natanong sa'yo. Okay. So to add to your statement din kanina, 'di ba? You said that trans visibility is one of your highlight of the advocacy. So my question is that given that the trans movement is actually very prominent na. Ikaw na nagsabi kanina na nagiging visible na unti-unti ang trans women. So what would be the difference between your advocacy at sa nangyayari na ngayong advocacy for promoting trans visibility?
Actually po, ang naging perspective ko dyan is merely educating. Kasi ang mostly sa mga naging parang advocacy ng ibang tao is parang makita lang talaga na visible ang trans woman. Pero from that perspective, let's go in a deeper way kasi kailangan educated pa rin ang lahat ng people and also transgender people regarding how we transition, how we take HRT, how we can be in a way na parang hindi lang kami visible, parang ganun. Let's take in mind na may journey din kaming pinapakita. Parang ganun.
Okay, so you want to highlight yung mismong the process mismo.
Oh, yes, that's good. That's my point.
Highlighting the process, not just na, okay, I am a trans woman, eto na kami, you have to recognize us. So parang it's a different na, this is our journey. You understand our journey so that kapag nag-usap-usap tayo, then parang
yes, you will know us better.
The ignorance will be, mabawasan yung ignorance
parang
ng mga
ganon.
tao. Okay.
Kasi, yung iba po talaga, napapansin ko lang din sa mga nag-join ng pageants ng mga transgender. They are fully woman. Fully woman. They represent themselves as fully woman. Pero they don't parang express and tell a story na paano ako naging ganito. Ay, di ko yun nakikita kasi parang ang unang labas nila sa pageantry, babae na talaga sila. Parang ganun. I want to look on a perspective na you will see our journey. Parang ganun. For that, people will understand, ganito pala ang transgender people. Ganito pala ang community nila. And from that, parang may influence din namin, na-educate din namin yung other people na for self-identifying din, ganyan. Ay, ganito pala yung choices ng pagiging transgender.
Okay.
Ganyan.
Parang parang may distinctions din. So parang given that I will transition to our next question. It's a bit critical if that will be okay din
It's
sa'yo.
okay.
Do you think there is a difference na kung anong mentality ng nasa trans women na they view themselves as men transition into women compared sa mga trans women that view themselves as woman talaga from the very beginning? Do you think there is a distinction between them and ano sa tingin mo ang difference nila?
It's a self-discovery po talaga to be a transgender woman. And yung mindset natin would definitely be on our own perspective. Pero syempre, hindi rin natin madi-disregard yung opinion ng other people regarding us. Our mental health is being parang affected by it. Kasi naglalaban yung utak at puso mo at katawan mo when you're discovering yourself. Lalo na't magta-transition ka pa. So, from that view, ako kasi ang view ko talaga sa sarili ko from the day I started taking hormones and transitioning myself. Babae talaga ako. Pero hindi ko naman pinopoint na I'm a natural woman. That's the difference. I am a trans woman in a way, I am a different woman from a natural woman. Ganon. Ganon po siya.
Pero may mga ibang tao talaga na ang tingin din nila is that from the very start,
Babae talaga
natural
sila.
woman.
Oo,
So
ganun.
what's your take sa mga sa ganung distinctions? Kasi it is highly I think up until now it is highly debated na kung saan a definition of a woman is very very indistinguishable, or parang madaming nagsasabi na sa conservative sides na wala nang definition talaga kung ano ang babae, kasi anyone can label themselves as a woman or as a man, etc. So on your end, do you think there's a difference, or ano yung take mo sa ganun na nagsasabi na naturally woman na talaga sila even before transitioning?
In that perspective, siguro hindi ko kasi siya masasabi kasi hindi ko rin naman siya naging mindset. Pero I highly respect those people na they see themselves as natural woman. Pero syempre, with different bases such as biology and all, hindi matidibang talaga yung mindset nila. And realizing naman, as we grow, as we individuals really present ourselves, ma-realize natin talaga na ang definition ng woman, nagbabago talaga siya in so many ways. So, hindi lang basehan na kaya mong manganak, babae ka na, or meron kang it's between your legs, kung anong nasa pagitan ng dalawang binte, babae ka na. Parang ganun. It's more on your mindset na I am a woman in terms of myself. Ganun.
Okay. Parang that's a clear distinction din naman.
Diba? Parang
Oo.
ano yun.
Kasi may mga, as in, parang kapag itong pag-usapan natin, we will take so long. Oo, it will
Pero
take
it's
so
good
long.
kasi po, nalalaman ko din yung mga perspective na, ay, may ganun palang issues. Kasi ako, ang mindset ko lang talaga is to know myself more.
May mga ganun kasi talaga na it's either a person is parang a positivist.
Actually, debatable talaga siya.
Kasi parang to add naman knowledge, nahiya naman ako, ikaw yung nagbibigay ng
go lang.
insight, so I will also give. May ambag din naman ako.
Go lang po.
Ang insight ko lang dito is that pagdating kasi sa pananaw ng mga tao,
Apa.
usually there's two sides lagi. We have what we call the positivist, or we have what we call the constructionist.
Yes.
Na basically ang positivist, sila yung mga tipo ng tao na who look at life or who look at society as something that is, kung ano yung observable, that is the reality. Na kung ano yung nakikita ng sense, ano yung nararamdaman ng 5 major senses natin, that is as a reality. More on logical ang approach nila. And we have people who are constructionist, na kung saan naman they are focusing on the experiences of the individual, kung paano sila nag-grow and paano nila nakaka-impact yun on a bigger scale. And sa nangyayari sa mga tao ngayon, ang nangyayari is that very divided ang positivist and constructionist na, ito lang yung nakikita ko, therefore ito yung tama. Or yung iba naman nagsabi na, ito yung nararamdaman ko, therefore ito din yung tama. So parang there is no room for compromise, na kung saan there should be a room for compromise. Kasi, I'll be transparent with this conversation. I am, nasa viewpoint kasi ako na I see gender as something na, I see sex as something na lalaki, babae. May ganun akong lens, may ganun ang lens ko. But it doesn't mean that any deviation from that is mali na sa pananaw ko. So, ang positivist approach, ang positivist na tingin ko is that may lalaki, babae. Biologically, ganun yung mangyayari. Is that kapag papasok mo naman yung pananaw ng constructionism,
Yes.
na kung saan, yes, lalaki, babae. But there are stories that will look at the lenses of people kung bakit nagta-transition sila from kung ano yung gender or sex na nung pinanganak sila. So parang sa part ko naman na I have to there's this compromise na hindi ko rin naman, it doesn't necessarily mean na binibitawan ko yung paniniwala ko, but it doesn't also mean na dinidisregard ko din yung journey ng ibang tao. So parang in that kind of compromise, you see the beauty of the individuals, understanding the individuals, while at the same time having your own pananaw din. And that's na hindi mo, what do you call this, hindi mo siya ini-impose to others, and you're not imposing kung ano yung pananaw mo, and at the same time nakikita mo rin kung bakit hindi nila ini-impose din yung sa kanila. So I'm just shocked why people hindi nakikita yung ganong level of compromise. But yun lang naman ang dalawang sides ng tao. It's either you're a subjective perspective or more on a logical perspective siya. So yeah, kaya ko siya natanong sa'yo kasi
Ang galing.
may ganung cases na may mga highly focused on their personal experiences na feeling nila na ganito lang dahil ganun yung naramdaman nila, ayun na yung totoo. Meron naman na kung ano yung nakikita nila, yun lang yung totoo. So parang di talaga magkakasundo ang kaya nga siya laging debatable. So to add to these questions din, kasi this will be a more serious question ha, if you will be okay with this one. Given that your advocacy is trans visibility, meaning that it will be visible to everyone, especially children. So, on your take, pagdating sa mga bata, what is the right age na kung saan someone should start transitioning? Is it kailangan magsimula as early as yung childhood days na I feel na bawat bata ako, I feel like I'm a woman, tapos gusto ko na mag-hormones, or is it should be later down the line pa?
Actually po, yan din yung naging parang tanong ko din sa sarili ko, if ever given a chance na pinopromote ko nga yung advocacy ko, paano yung mga bata na nakakita? Paano yung batang nakakarinig ng mga stories na binibigay ko? Yung mga explanations na inire-relay ko? And from that, na-realize ko na din na parang innocence is really vital sa mga bata. They try to adapt what other people's adapt kasi nga, bata pa sila.
Yeah.
And napaka-crucial nun kasi kapag parang tawag doon, wala silang time to decide for themselves kasi bata pa nga sila eh. And that's a factor. So pero, I want them to realize na hindi naman po madali bilang isang bata na mag-decide ka na transgender ka na agad. Kasi it's a self-discovery. It takes time. When you're an adult, dun mo lang talaga, di naman masasabing adult, when you're trying to grow up and you're trying to discover yourself, dun ka lang talaga makakapag-decide kung ano ba talaga kung ano ka ba talaga. Kasi, sabi nyo nga po, gender is a wide perspective of every individual. So, it does not happen on a click. Parang sa isang saglit lang.
Nag-decide ka ng, ganito na ako.
Ganito na ako.
Hindi siya
ganun. Kasi, self-discovery nga siya, matagal talaga siyang proseso. Ganun.
So it's more on, what do you call this? It's more on the age na kung saan a person is capable of consent. So parang ganun din.
Capable of, consent,
consent.
and thinking, or capable of, parang makakapag-isip ka talaga, makakapag-decide ka ng kung ano ka ba talaga.
Na, anong tawag nito? There are people kasi, especially children, very impulsive ang mga bata.
Totoo po yan.
Yun din ang for sure takot pangamba ng ibang parents na
Opo, totoo.
na as a young mga bata, impulsive na baka bumili ng ganito or kung ano yung gamitin nila. So, parang to control din the rest. So, parang yun na rin yung part ng advocacy mo na ang tawag nito, as children, hindi rin naman just because na you want to transition doesn't mean na kailangan mo maging reckless in transitioning. I think there's a good side naman ng healthy na
kaya
transitioning.
Nga po, when I promote my advocacy, parang na-realize ko din na parents should be really also be helpful in helping their child discover themselves. Kasi at the end of the day, kung bata ka pa, kung wala kang guidance ng magulang, syempre nagiging risk, nagiging ka rin, possible for making mistakes, ganyan, at an early age.
That's good. Parang I'm loving this growth of conversation.
Diba?
Parang mas lumalim yung usapan natin compared before. And that's a good thing. So at least parang on your end, na-express ko din ko ano yung mga posibleng maging bato din sa'yo ng mga tao when it comes to advocating for your advocacy. Okay. So, before we proceed sa next one, may naisip lang kanina gusto kong itanong din sa'yo. Do you think, kasi I think this one is a bit prominent pa rin, na ang laging justification kung bakit kailangan i-promote ang LGBTQ rights or women's rights, trans women rights, is that they are still oppressed. So parang gano'n. I think di na pala parang gano'n. That is the situation na very oppressed, very oppressed pa yung certain group, yung community mismo. So my question to you is, given that na ngayon is that every member of the LGBT community has now freedom of expression, na parang wala nang naglilimit ng speeches nila. Do you think the community is still as oppressed compared before? Or since nababawasan na ng konti yung oppression nila, ano nang next na pwedeng maging advocacy ng LGBTQ community na hindi na iikot sa oppression?
Actually, ngayon po, talagang ma-realize mo na at maririnig mo na talaga yung mga boses ng community eh. Naririnig mo na yung mga opinions nila and they're given a chance to really speak.
Which is good.
Which is good.
Dati,
Kasi wala
talaga.
kang makikita and a lot of issues na binabrought out. Katulad nga po sa amin, relate ko na lang sa trans community. Before, ang daming mga trans woman na pinapatay pero wala silang justice sa law. Pero now, ngayon po, when they really brought the issue and katulad sa toilet, sa CR issues and then killing sa ibang bansa, nagkakaroon ng parang yung minds ng mga tao, open up sila sa mga nangyayari talaga sa individual, especially sa community namin na, okay, kailangan magawa ng action to. Ganyan. So, ngayon, kung oppression naman yung mapag-uusapan, siguro, na-lessen na yung oppression namin kasi nagkaroon na kami ng highlight. And hindi naman namin sinasabi na parang porket gusto namin magkaroon ng highlight is that nagiging papansin na kami in a way. Because what we want is to be recognized lang naman. And we want also the same rights as what cisgender people have. And gusto rin namin ma-feel na talagang inclusive talaga lahat.
Parang, you're not asking for special treatment.
Yes,
I think that's the common.
The point.
That's the common na nagiging tingin ng mga tao
misconception po talaga.
The community is asking for a special treatment, which is looking at it din naman din talaga na parang there are aspects din na hindi na shed ng light din on how members of the LGBTQ communities are treated. So now, yung question ko sa'yo din kanina to add, once ma-solve na yung part ng oppression, kasi I think na-solve na yung speech. Tama, the oppression ng speech ng members of the LGBTQ community, unti-unti nawawala na siya kasi everyone can now speak their minds freely and free from prosecution. So, after that, once na hindi na oppressed ang community, what's next para mas maging mag-iba na yung advocacy ulit nila, advocacy ninyo?
Siguro po, nagkakaroon tayo ng stable na community, kung titingnan. Kasi kung wala na yung oppression, everyone is treated equal. Siyempre, everyone can process and everyone can live a life where stable na sila, wala na masyado, may understanding na talaga from a deeper perspective. And kung titingnan, ano yung next na magiging advocacy? Siguro po, let's try to pinpoint yung regarding sa marriage. Yun. Gusto ko din po yung ma-highlight kasi once, yun nga po, mawala na yung oppression, mawala na yung discrimination, doon na papasok yung parang may mga nire-resolve ng issues regarding the community. Yung malilegalize na ang mga certain bills and laws na parang gusto naming maipatupad sa community.
That's good.
Which is yung SOGI bill.
I think meron tayong lawmakers that are advocates of the SOGI bill, which is good. I think that's Ms. Risa Ontiveros is one.
And yung our first transgender
Governor,
which is Geraldine.
Yes.
Si Ma'am Geraldine. Hindi ko nalimutan yung apelido, pero Ma'am Geraldine.
Ma'am Geraldine. Yung Geraldine, ibang Geraldine ang basta si Miss Geraldine na Governor Geraldine.
Yes.
Nang naisip ko yung Geraldine na kilala natin. Yung kilala natin.
Yung teacher po.
Yung co-teacher natin. Okay. So, I have this question na sana naman if ever maririnig ito ng organizers ng Miss Gay Bicolandia, please wag po kayong magalit. This is just a question ng lay people like me. Na if ang labanan ng pageants especially is that it's an opportunity for you to share your advocacies. It's an opportunity for you to share kung ano yung visions at gusto ninyo mangyari sa community. So, what would be the importance ng meron ng bakit kailangan pa ng ang tawag nito, bakit kailangan ng this will be a bit controversial, but bakit kailangan ng mga production number, bakit kailangan ng swimsuit competition, bakit kailangan ng nightclub competition, just for, yun ang, technically, yun ang part ng cover ng competition, tama? So, why would it be included if ang overall essence of Miss Gay Bicolandia is for you to advocate kung ano yung gusto ninyong mangyari na ikakabuti ng community?
Sorry. Disclaimer lang din po from my own perspective.
From your
din po,
perspective.
why I joined beauty pageants and why I am eager to join also and be a candidate. Naging candidate na ng Miss Gay Bicolandia. The main purpose why we conduct those segments is that ito po yung pinaka-point. We are embracing and celebrating beauty of individuals. And that's our main point. Kasi we're showcasing different aspects of individuals who have their confidence being boosted on stage. Parang ganun. Pinapakita nila yung sarili nilang ganda, sarili nilang structure as an individual, as a woman, kung titingnan. And that is one factor kung bakit may mga beauty pageants. Pero aside from that, why we showcase that is that we want, parang want din ng organization to really present the rightful candidate for the title, and also based sa performance niya from those segments, doon na papasok yung segment na it will test yung Q&A questions naman niya, yung intelligence naman niya. So, it's both intelligence and beauty combined, gano'n.
Okay.
Actually, kung bakit na yung naging purpose, kung bakit may mga beauty pageants is that it's also a celebration, yung parang ganyan. Na-enjoy namin na once in a while, mafe-feel namin na maganda kami, we are celebrated, we are being parang applauded by other people, and that's good kasi parang from that start, parang magkakaroon kami ng magandang impression to work as a beauty queen. Kasi right after pageants naman, syempre, it's a bigger pageant. It's the whole Bicolandia you are working with. So after that, after the celebration, yun naman, mag-work ka na with the organization.
So parang the pageant itself is just the beginning. Hindi siya yung end goal talaga ng advocacy. So that makes sense actually. And another one is that given na ang foundation ng pageant ninyo is the advocacy that you're carrying, it makes sense if you can carry it with yourself with confidence. Kasi if you cannot carry yourself with confidence, then
paano ka magtatrabaho?
Yeah, paano mo madadaling advocacy mo sa
totoo
tao?
po, yan.
So parang those are ways din na nakikita ko din na bakit maganda rin i-highlight ang pageant as part of celebration ng advocacy. Kasi if you know how to present yourself, how to communicate yourself well, so lalabas talaga na your advocacy is very valid. Kasi let's say sabihin natin, actually, lahat naman na talaga ng advocacy are valid. But at the same time, it will still depend on how well you can talk about it. Kasi let's say ang advocacy natin, let's say, for the simple, anti-smoking. If I don't have the confidence to talk about anti-smoking, what's the impact of the advocacy? Sometimes the idea is there, but how you express it also matters din. Tama ba?
Kasi
tama
naging
naman.
ano rin po sa amin yan. Sabi nila, why are you advocating for an advocacy kung hindi mo rin siya nagagawa? Parang ganun. Kasi ang advocacy kasi talaga, you've been working with it for a span of years, or parang nasimulan mo na siya matagal na, and you're still working on it. Kahit walang taong nakakikita.
So it's more on a lifelong journey din talaga.
Oo, yun, ganun.
So with that, ang tanong ko naman sa'yo, and this is also been asked, lagi ito tinatanong sa akin, so parang gusto ko rin itanong.
Okay.
So after this one, let's say, this is your advocacy now, the trans visibility. Let's say nakuha mo na siya, na-achieve mo na siya. After that, ano na?
After that, I don't see parang...
What's your next step?
What's your next step? Siguro,
parang ganun.
Siguro magbibuild ako ng parang organization talaga. It's an organization that would really cater those transgender people. Parang gusto ko rin talaga. Actually po, nagplan ako and think na parang mag-aaral pa ba ako to become an endocrinologist? Just to really understand how the deeper perspective of being a transgender is. Kasi kung talagang kung titingnan, gusto kong maging endocrinologist in a way na gusto kong matulungan yung kapwa ko. Ganyan. Lalo na dito sa Camarines Norte kasi walang ganun dito.
Yeah, actually, wala.
Diba po?
Oo.
Actually po, kaya ako nag-self-medicate kasi I was looking for a professional that could really help me. Kasi hindi ako makahanap dito as in nagtanong-tanong ako, nag-research ako sa internet, ganyan. Sabi ko, bakit wala dito?
I think Manila or Naga ang meron.
Naga or Manila po. So, parang ang layo naman. Kasi paano yun? Parang na-deprive naman ako sa education ng professional. Ganyan.
So
Kaya
parang gusto mo yung advocacy mo is that for, yung healthy transition, parang gusto mo, ikaw na mismo yung nagbibigay sa kanila.
I want to apply it for myself, para may apply ko din sa iba.
Yung, parang ikaw na yung magiging access nila for
Yes,
that. Actually,
ganon.
that's good. Kasi, people, actually from my experience, people took offense. I'm glad you handled it well. Kasi, if I ask someone, after nyan, ano na? Parang people kinda take offense to that. So, parang, tingin nila na, parang
endpoint na.
o parang
ganyan.
minamaliit mo naman itong ginagawa ko. Sabi ko, hindi naman. Kasi pag tinatanong ka kasi ng after nyan, ano na? So parang it kind of test din how your vision long term is.
Yes.
Diba? Kasi nung una talaga, parents ko yung nagtatanong niya sa akin, oh, sige, gagawa ka ng ganyan, magtuturo ka dyan. Ano na?
Ano na? Ang
Katapos
sunod?
yun, ano
After
na?
nyan,
Oh, nakuha mo na, ano na? So parang, you will also see na ano yung deeper purpose while you are advocating for
Hindi
things.
ka lang stagnant.
Oo.
Ganun.
Na, halimbawa, ano ba? Let's say, gusto kong mag-podcast. After nyan, ano na? O, halimbawa, let's say, sabihin ko na, gusto kong may makausap ng mga tao. After that, ano na? So, parang, after asking ng ano na, you find a deeper purpose on why you do
Yes.
things. So, parang ganun. So, it's a good reflective activity sa mga nakikinig. So, matitingin ako sa camera muna, ha? Sa mga nakikinig, if you want to be more reflective on why you do things, just ask yourself, ano yung ginagawa mo ngayon? Ba't mo siya ginagawa? Katapos yun, ano na? Sa una, bad trip ka, pero eventually makikita mo na yun. Even sa thesis defense, tinatanong namin
totoo
yan.
yan.
After ng thesis mo, ano na?
Actually po nung nag-thesis kami, siguro naging wala na nung progress noon. Ganun.
Ang nakakalungkot din kasi,
Hindi na ina-apply talaga.
as part of the part din ng academe, is that, yung thesis na, after nung thesis mo, ano na? After graduation mo, what happens to your research? Na parang nakakalungkot na people will just see it as a requirement, tapos di nila nakikita na magandang
Applicable siya sa life.
magandang foundation ang thesis on that. Nakakalungkot lang na minamaliit pa rin siya up until now. Yun ang saka na natin pag-usapan yan. Hindi thesis.
Oo nga, sir.
Hindi thesis. So,
Parang naanon tayo sa ACADS ngayon.
wala tayo sa ACADS ngayon.
Na-miss ko din siya actually.
Na-miss mo yung
Gusto ko
pagsulat?
rin ulit mag-aral.
So, ulit mag-thesis?
Oo, parang
Okay.
gano'n.
Very
Napapathesis din ako.
It's fun. Maganda na magsulat ng thesis once alam mo na yung proseso ng pagsulat. Kasi
At alam mo na yung parang may ano ka na may plan ka na talaga sa thesis.
Kasi before, nung sinalang tayo sa thesis, wala tayong alam, di natin alam yung gagawin.
Totoo.
So parang nangangapa pa tayo. So ngayon alam mo na, parang it's fun doing it. Kasi alam mo
May
na yung foundation.
direction ka eh.
Kaya mo nang i-critic yung sarili mo when making a thesis. So for the next one, for sure, in Miss Gaby Colancia, I believe 17 aspiring, talented, tapos vision-heavy, advocacy-driven women ang mga nakasali dyan. Di ko naman tatanong sa'yo, what's your edge, ha? Wala namang ganun na tanong. Kasi parang malalaman na yan sa Q&A
Oo
nyo doon.
nga eh.
For sure, part na yun.
Pero hindi ko, yun din po ang ano ko sa bigger stage.
Yeah.
I just want to realize na parang let's expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
Ganon yung viewpoint ko.
Usually, magugulat ka na lang why things happen din eh. So, may
Pero
question.
natatanong niya, ano kayo may bibigay na tanong sa akin?
Oh,
Parang ganun
ano yung
nag-iisip
mga
ako. Ano yung mga questions na ibabato sa akin sa stage?
Handa ba ako? Baka hindi ko masabi.
Oo, ganun. Baka hindi ko siya masagot.
Oo,
Ganun.
baka,
What if?
baka
Ganun.
idaan ko na lang sa 10 second na I appreciate the question.
Oo.
Yung habang nagsasabi
Thank
ka
you.
na thank you, ang nag-iisip ka na ng sasagot mo usually. Actually, I have a beauty queen friend na yun din. Kapag nagsasabi siya pag 3 beses daw siya nagpasalamat sa question,
Hindi
nahihirapan siya.
Nahihirapan niya.
Ganun siya. So, yun nga, back to my question. 17 talented, aspiring, and
Yes.
vision-driven women ang kasali dyan. Anong tawag nito? What happens next after the pageant. Kasi only one will take the crown, right?
Yes.
So, how would the remaining 16 sa tingin mo, let's say ikaw yung nanalo. So, you are given the foundation, you are given the access to promote your advocacy. So, what about the other 16? So, ano naman ang pwedeng mangyari doon? Will the advocacy stop kasi mawawalan lang access to resources, or would there be alternatives para mas ma-express pa ng other candidates yung advocacy nila?
Actually po, nung nakikita ko yung 17 candidates, they were all equally beautiful, equally intelligent, and may kanya-kanya silang advocacy. Pero syempre nga po, it's a pageant, it's a competition. Only one will be reigning as a queen that will be recognized, ganyan. Pero after that, syempre, before joining pageants naman, may kanya-kanya naman talaga kaming mga trabaho, may kanya-kanya kaming mga gawa sa buhay. So, siguro na-view ko yon as this organization din naman, which is Miss Gay Bicolanja. It does not only view the pageant itself, but it's organization where everyone is included. Kasi parang ano yun, right after the pageant, katulad nga po ng Sure Ami, they cater all the candidates to join programs. May mga programs na tutulong yung mga kandidata, which yung parang nagiging viewpoint din nila na at the end of the pageant, ay, baka pwede rin ako makatulong sa ganito. Makastart ako ng advocacy ulit, makastart ako ng another
good.
event.
So
ganun.
parang may access na binibigay yung organization ninyo
Parang
na.
ganun po.
Okay, kasi ayun nga, an outsider.
Kasi why we create pageants naman is that we know na makakatulong tayo, ganyan.
Yeah.
May ambag tayo sa
It's not really
community.
just rarampa ka
Oo,
tapos
hindi lang yung narampa ka lang. Kasi minsan ang nagiging viewpoint, actually, yung ibang mga kandidata, for example, when they join pageants, ganyan, they view as pageant as something na pinagkakakitaan lang, ganyan.
Actually, malaki ang pera din talaga sa pageant.
Opo, yan. Malaking tulong yan financially. Pero, let's not view pageants as a way of income, ganun. Let's view pageant na yung makukuha natin na fame, makukuha natin na parang highlight, would really focus on the purpose why we joined.
Yeah.
Ganun.
Yung tipong, ano tawag nito, fame, highlights, kasi ay momentarily din yan eh. Kung ano yung impact,
Na-fade yan.
kung ano yung impact mo is yun ang importante. So parang, I kind of want to compare it na, halimbawa, nagsindi ka ng posporo, di ba? Pag nagsindi ka ng posporo, for a short, let's say 10 seconds, 15 seconds, buong haba na nga nun, 5 to 10 seconds, umiilaw na yung posporo. So parang that can be represented yung sa fame, yung highlight na sinasabi mo kanina. So what you do with that highlights matters. Alangan naman na after nung kasikatan mo, hayaan mo lang siyang ma-fizzle. So, syempre, ilalagay mo siya sa more sustainable source of light. Let's say, iti-transfer mo siya sa kandila, iti-transfer mo siya sa mas mataas na light source. So, parang sa gasera. So, parang you kind of use that initial spark to start bigger and more sustainable lights for everyone. So, parang ganun.
Yeah,
di ba?
That's yung point. Ang
Kita
ganda
mo yung analogy. Di ba?
Analogy
Taba
ng
utak mo.
iyong,
So, may ganung case kasi parang that was an analogy given to us before by... Actually, nagbigay nun bata eh. If I remember correctly, there was a time na nag-fieldwork kami, tapos may bata na naglalaro kami, brownout no, tapos naglalaro kami ng mga posporo. Tapos sabi niya, "Uy, kuya PJ, tingnan mo tong gagawin ko." Oh, posporo siya, inilawan niya yung kandila nila. Napatagal ko yung apoy nung parang nakipagpustahan siya sa akin. Sabi niya sa akin, "Kuya PJ, pusta tayo, 10 pesos."
Matagal yung apoy
matagal
nila.
tong apoy ng Sabi ko, sige. Ako naman, akala ko, syempre bata. Sabi niya, papatagalin ko yung apoy. Ginanon niya. Tapos nilagay niya sa kandila. Sabi ko, taba ng utak ng batang to. Syempre, binigay ko yung 10 pesos. Sabi ko, kuya, napatagal ko yung apoy ng posporo. Sabi ko, sige na, okay na, tama ka.
Akala ko sabihin, loko tong batang to.
Sabi ko, scammer tong batang to. Tawa ng utak. Pero, after, realize ko na, it makes sense na the spark of light, the purge, the moment na nakukuha mo, how you transfer it matters eh. If you let it fizzle, paso na. So parang if ever, kung sino man ang manalo sa pageant.
Opo.
This upcoming September 7. Tama? Yeah,
Yes.
September 7. Kung sino man ang manalo, may they use that light to
Totoo po.
shine more into others. So parang, wow, lumalalim na tayo.
Yes.
So,
Pageant answers na ata yun. Parang,
Oo.
parang ikaw yung naging candidate ngayon. Kuya.
at thank you for the wonderful question.
Wow. Actually, mali yan, sabi nila.
Yeah.
But when you're answering questions, you don't have to say, thank you for that wonderful question. Wonderful question.
Diversionary tactic talaga yan eh.
Kasi para makapag-isip ka din, ganun yung ano nun.
Pero usually, how should one answer a question?
Actually, may mga
Kapag hindi
formats
na
naman
ganun.
talaga po when you're answering questions. From our, basically sa amin, sa The Champ, which is Q&A training camp. Ganun. We create a format. Para may pina-follow kami na format when answering questions such as prep. Yan, I want to share that. Prep.
Ano naman?
Point, reason, example, point. From that moment when you answer questions, you're given a structure na eh.
Point.
Reason,
Reason,
example, point.
example, point.
That's one way of answering a question. And that's the basic way. Kasi from that moment, na-view na yung whole answer mo. And it's understandable.
Yeah.
Yun.
Kasi if something has reason, if something has an example,
Yes.
if something has a point, then it's more memorable than.
Yes. And more comprehensible.
Yeah.
Diba?
At yung idea mo won't just.
Lalo na't may timer. If
Oo,
kapag may pageants, diba? Sir,
Usually ba-
kailangan may timer yun.
Usually ba ang timer is mga 1 minute? Tapos if you will waste the
Tas
first
yung
10
presence
seconds.
pa ng stage, yung kaba pa.
Oh, yun.
Nagbabattle
Pero I
talaga
think it
sila.
also benefits na sa taas ng liwanag during that di mo rin nakikita
Kita
yung
yung
tao.
audience.
Oo. So I think
Naririnig mo lang sila.
I think that's a positive din na
Oo.
hindi mo makikita yung reaction ng mga tao to your answer, so you can
Ang
focus.
kalaban mo lang yung init ng stage.
Yun nga.
Oo. ang
So how
mga
would you
ilaw.
prepare physically for that? Kasi I believe may mga taong hinihimatay sa init ng stages.
Stage, opo.
So ano yung precautionary measures na ginagawa ng
Actually,
candidates?
after you... Kasi may mga segments naman baga po yun na parang papasok individually.
Yeah.
From that moment, sa backstage, you have to prepare yourself na talaga. Yung parang ano mo na yung sarili mo na uminom ng tubig. Mag-self-assess ka na agad kung saan, ay, nangihina na ako. Kailangan ko ng seek ng help ng everyone sa backstage muna before I go on the stage na.
Kung ano yung biological needs, ika nga, no? So that's good. Kasi
Ganon.
it's a very tough competition din.
Totoo po.
Physically demanding siya actually. Nung nakita ko yung mga post ng mga candidates, even nung mga kakilala ko nasa pageantry world, kikita ko yung rumarampa sa stage, tapos after nung isang segment, magbibihis ng mabilis, rarampa ulit, sisigaw, sabi ko,
Exhausted.
Oo, exhausting. As a viewer, exhausted ka na. What more as someone na nandun. So parang, makikita mo rin na how tough the pageantry world is. Either for Miss Gay or for Miss Universe, mga ganun na, even local pageants actually, mga
totoo
pageants sa
po.
barangay. And I believe
Labanan din yan.
nag-pageant ka din
Diyan
sa
ako
local.
nag-start. Opo. Yan yung starting point ko po.
Kamusta naman? Kasi I believe ang pageant ng barangay is a bit different from the grand stage kasi nakikita mo yung
Opo.
audiences. So anong experience mo sa sa local?
Siguro perspective ko lang to as a pageantera. Mahirap na pageant is barangayan talaga.
Bakit?
Kasi it's a way na may mga iba't ibang kandidata makikita mo talaga na mga matatalino talaga. Ayaw nilang mag-join ng higher pageants kasi kabuhayan nila yon. Ganon yung mindset kasi pag nagbabaranggayan. Pero in a way na parang nakaka-pressure kasi you have to, it's a starting point kasi dun ka nagpapakilala. Kaya kailangan mong galingan every segment. Ganon. Tapos iba't ibang barangay pa yung pinupuntahan mo. Kasi po,
yun
diba,
na.
ang pag mga municipal pageant, lang siya, isang municipality, tapos may mga bigger pageant kasi siya.
At kapag dayo ka naman,
Oo.
ang pressure mo naman is yung impact mo sa
Audience
impact mo. Kasi pag hindi ka taga doon, walang suporta ka masyadong makukuha.
Ay, sabihin, di ka bet.
Oo.
Ganon ang mga
Di ka bet kasi di ka taga dito. Ang susuportahan nila is yung
taga doon.
Do you feel pressured? Let's say for example na yung rumampa before you, grabe yung hiyawan ng mga tao. Tapos
Oo.
kapag ikaw na yung rumampa, halos no response. May ganun bang nangyari sa iyo?
Oo po.
How do you respond? Kasi personally baka kung ako yung nandun, mababother ako dun eh.
Actually, it takes a lot of confidence when you're going sa stage talaga. So you have to compose yourself. You have to feel that you have the power to really impress everyone. Ganun ako lagi. Mindset ko yun lagi po when I parang papasok na ako sa mga segments, ganyan. Kahit maganda yung kalaban ko, dapat masapawan ko siya. Ganun ako.
Kasi
ganun ako.
yung hype kasi nakakadala yan eh.
Kasi yung expression, the way you view yourself, madadala mo yung tao.
Yeah.
So it's merely your performance matters talaga. Pero syempre, mahirap din kasi, for example, dayo ako, wala akong kakilala. Ganun, may nangyari nun sa akin. Actually, judges sila. Hindi nila ako tinitingnan. And I was so offended in a way na parang sabi ko, ay, okay, na-discourage ako to perform my very best. Pero syempre, hindi mo dapat yun ipapakita kasi sasabihin nila na, ay, discouraged na to, wala na tong chance.
Parang ay, ang hina naman ito.
Oo, gano'n.
Parang i-justify pa nila yung pagiging bastos nila eh.
Gano'n.
Ganun.
As in, makakatingin ko talaga, bakit po ako nito hindi tinitingnan? Maganda naman ako. Natanong ko yun sa sarili ko. As in, sir.
I think that's kinda normal kasi imagine mo, walang tumingin
Oo,
sa'yo.
as in, pero yung audience,
Nasa iyo yung attention.
nasa akin yung attention.
That's good.
And that's
Kasi
good.
mukhang mas dagdag, mas parang dagdag sampal sa mukha yun. Hindi ka na tinignan ng
Oo,
judges.
Hindi pa ako tinignan ng audience.
Hindi ka pa titignan ng audience.
Kaya ano ako, kaya
Oo.
ako man maglabas. Ayoko na.
I think it's also a good thing na part yung sa pagiging part ng ALM kasi when you enter, kung dayo ka, may guaranteed na audience ka din kasi yung support ng ALM talents,
Actually, sobrang supportive po
laking
nila.
tulong yun eh.
When I joined pageants po, yung nag-municipal sa Pinyasan, sa Sipocon, which I won, talagang all-out support sila na gusto nilang sumama sa mismong pageant,
Oh,
ganyan.
that's good.
Which parang na-realize din nila na parang, okay, need ni Aris ng support system, kahit dayo lang siya doon.
Okay. Kasi yun ang maganda. Kasi imagine mo kung wala sila.
Oo, sir.
Parang ang hirap
Nahihirapan ako.
ang hirap makakuha ng crowd to get
Opo,
to get an
totoo
energy
yan.
to get energy from. Kasi nakakakuha talaga ng energy yung ganyan eh.
You really have to stand out
yeah,
kung gusto mo, pag
exactly.
dayo ka.
And alam mo, this conversation is very iba talaga kapag second time na usapan eh.
Oo nga, nagiging natural.
Mas
nagiging
dumami
ano.
yung ano natin. And I had fun and I will always have fun talking with different kinds of guests lalo na yung pag
Thank you po.
nag-usap tayo. So thank you so much for your conversation with me
Yes.
today. And what do you call this? For the last question, syempre, what are your plans after win or lose after this pageant? What are your plans personally?
Personally, after given a chance or luckily a blessing to win the MGB crown, I will start the advocacy in my campaign. After that, and if given a chance na parang nag-grow na yung advocacy and campaign ko, I will pursue my plan to study as an endocrinologist to get a job. At parang pag-aralan ko
Ilang
kung paano
years
mag-
yun?
Hindi ko pa po siya as in, parang totally nare-research kung ilang years yun. Kasi hindi ko alam kung saan school, saan ako mag-school mag-enroll, ganyan. So, I have to discover that after.
Kasi I think there's a difference between medicine
Opo,
course
parang
sa
ganun.
gusto mong
Sa mga
pasukan eh.
ganun. Kasi more on psychological aspects din ang pagiging endocrinologist. Hindi lang siya meds. Tapos after that, siguro po, if hindi ko pa malaman kung saan ako mag-enroll na school, mag-a-apply muna ako sa Manila.
Doon ka muna ma-work. That's good. Parang you go out muna from your comfort zone then
Yes.
start
Tapos I will go
Start
back
fresh.
here at Camarines Norte.
ay dapat lang. Parang may part 3 ulit
Oo.
ito. So, yeah, with that said, thank you so much, Miss Aris. Again, thank you so much sa All-in-One Studio for providing this wonderful set for us and Sir Alvin, ALM Events Talents and Management.
Yes, thank you po.
And with that said, this is your host, PJ, and you can support Miss Aris from the social media links below na makikita ninyo. Then, yeah, so with that, I will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye. Be safe.